Yes, we are now at the end of the third unit. That is the last topic which discusses on the first of all, what is equalization? What is the need for it? It is a technique which can be used independently or in tandem to improve the receiver signal quality. In what way it is going to improve it? Yeah, normally in case of the multipath signaling, it will result in intersymbol interference, that is ISI. This is one of the technique which helps in compensation of this in ISI in case of a time dispersive channel. What do you mean by time dispersive channel is, if you are going to have multiple paths or multiple signals, each and every signal will receive the receiver end at different time by traveling different paths. So such a signal we call it as a multipath. Due to this, there occurs an intersymbol interference. So an equalization technique will help you in compensating this ISI. So this term equalization can be used to describe any signal processing operation that minimizes the ISI. And there are two types of equalization: linear equalization and nonlinear equalization. So equalizer is usually implemented at the baseband or at the intermediate frequency range, IF range, in a receiver. That will be shown in the next slide, where there is a block diagram. Figure is there, we will discuss. So a received signal y of t is equal to the x of t into the coherent signal f conjugate of t plus the noise. So this is going to be the baseband noise. So it is denoted as NB of t at the input of the equalizer, and you are going to have a impulse response of the equalizer, which is represented as H equivalent of t. Now we'll see the block diagram. This is the block diagram of a simple adaptive equalizer at the receiver. So you know very well that you are going to have original baseband message signal x of t, and this entire thing is going to be the transmitter part. You are going to have to modulate the signal as usual and give it to the transmitter, and you put the signal onto the radio channel, and at the receiver you are going to receive the radio frequency signal. This is the front end, and you know that the signal will be of very low signal strength. We have to amplify it. A preamplifier is used, filters will be used after. So we call this as overall it as a front end, and it is fed to the intermediate frequency stage. And next to that is going to be the detector matched filter. Already we have seen what is a matched filter. So this matched filter is going to be used to improve the SNR, signal to noise ratio. And here comes your equalizer technique. What is the part of it? What it does actually? So this block is going to be your equalization. Already we know what is prediction filter. Here we are going to know what is the prediction error being generated. So here you are going to have an equalizer which makes use of an impulse response H equivalent of t, a decision making device, and this is the reconstructed message data. Now you are going to compare your, before feeding it to the decision making device, you are going to have the estimated value of this received data. After decision making, you actually decide what is it with the help of the threshold. Just you compare these two things, find the difference which will produce the error signal. So this is a predicted error, and this predicted error is fed to the equalizer. So here the equalizer will try to compensate the received actual y of t with the predicted error value, so that almost this becomes nullified. Almost your predicted value and your reconstructed message are going to be equal. So this is how your equalizer is going to be helpful in minimizing the intersymbol interference. So what is this technology is? If the channel is a frequency selective, the equalizer enhances the frequency component with small amplitudes and attenuates the strong frequencies in the received frequency response. So this is how your equalization technique works. So it is always will eliminate the frequency components which is going to have smaller amplitude, and only the one which is going to have the stronger frequencies and amplitudes are going to be received. And for a time varying channel, an adaptive equalizer is needed to track the channel variations. So what adaptive equalization? So adaptive equalization is going to have array of such equalization receivers. So you are going to have the input signal. These input signals are time delayed, so delayed by 1 by z. Okay, so it is going to have n time delay elements. All these are time delay elements, and you are going to have n plus 1 taps. So all these are n plus 1 taps, which are going to be tunable in nature. So you are going to have the tapping done at each and every delayed signal output, and you are going to apply that to the n plus 1 tunable complex weights. All these signals are added over here, and you are going to have a decision making done here. You are going to have dk, a set of xk, which represents a known property, replica of the original signal, and this will give you the equalization. So you are going to have find the difference between these two signals. It is your original dk and this is the estimated one. It is going to produce an error, and this error is fed to the adaptive algorithm, and with the help of the adaptive algorithm, all these tunable knobs are going to be varied accordingly so that your error is minimized. So you are going to have a feedback path over here, and it is made adaptive to the incoming signal. Whatever may be the time period, it is going to be adjusted by these all tunable knobs, and you are going to get the error to be minimized, and your reconstructed signal will be as expected or as it was transmitted. So these weights are updated continuously by a adaptive algorithm. The weightage of these things, W0k, W1k, W2k, all these represents the weightage, and they are going to be adaptive in nature, and this is decided by the algorithm, and it is controlled by the error signal ek. So this is going to control what the weightage should be assigned to each and every tunable knobs over here. So this is how your adaptive equalizer works. Thank you. And one more thing I would like to discuss is how the algorithm is going to be working on. So algorithm for adaptive equalization is performance measures for an algorithm. So it is a rate of convergence, misadjustment, computational complexity, and numerical properties. All these are the performance measures of this algorithm. And factors which dominate the choice of an equalization structure and its algorithm are the cost of computing platform, the algorithm, how it is going to compute and decide the weightage based upon the error signal. So that is going to be quite complex. And the power budget, you have to decide how much power is going to be consumed for each and every weightage calculation and tunable and the delay. And the radio propagation characteristics also decide the factors of this equalization structure. And coming to the algorithm for the adaptive equalization, the speed of the mobile unit determines the channel fading rate and the Doppler spread. So at what speed your radio signal is going to move between the transmitter and the receiver, if they are going to have a moving vehicle, whether this vehicle is moving towards the transmitter or away from the transmitter, so there comes a channel fading rate, at what rate it is going to the signal is going to get degraded, and the Doppler spread of it, which is related to the coherent time of the channel directly. And the choice of the algorithm and its corresponding rate of convergence depends upon the channel data rate and the coherent time. Here the number of taps used in the equalizer design depends upon the maximum expected time delay spread of the channel. So it can vary accordingly. So numbering of based upon the delay you can decide. The circuit complexity and processing time increases with the number of taps and the delay elements. Okay, that's it. And the derivation part will be discussed and it will be uploaded in the Moodle.